フェミニンで美しいな。キュート、ハートがチクチクする。クールがホットになってしまうな。まさにローズ・オブ・パッションだな。I pricked my heart.
I legitly love, and I mean this seriously. Like, I know it's gonna come off sarcastically, but that is not the intention. I legitly love the fact that Ray, this episode, almost used the thing. And then he talked to Master Lydia, and she was like, you got about 5 years, buddy, before you recover. Don't use the thing. And he's like, I won't use the thing. She's like, but if you use the thing, then just know, I trust you to make the judgment to do the thing. And then we get the preview for next episode, and our boy Ray's using the thing, which essentially just equates to what makes him the Iceblade Sorcerer, right? And it's whatever he turns Super Saiyan God, and he does some ice shenanigans. And I think whatever event happened to not stagnate him, but whatever event happened that kind of like crippled him essentially in a way, or hindered his ability, or like, maybe not sealed it away, but basically he probably got injured, as what I'm guessing, to a level to where he didn't lose his power, but using it could probably take a bigger toll on him, than you would imagine. So I just really enjoy that we had a moment of like, I think I'm going to use the thing, and then he meets with his master. She's like, don't use the thing. And she's like, but if you do use the thing, I trust you. And then we see him using the thing next episode. So I'm like, okay, that kind of happened kind of quick. And I legitly love that too. The other thing that I wanted to cover is, this is the 3rd episode of Iceblade Sorcerer. And at this point, if you are making a decision to hop off of the anime, for whatever reason, I totally get it. Like, this is your weakest crest. This is your otherworld in the smartphone. This is your 8th son. This is your standard fare of OP protagonist goes to school and gets surrounded by women kind of thing. The one thing, and before I move on to that, I understand if you're like, I'm done with these things, I'm over it, whatever. The thing that I would say that the rest of us who stick around, and again, if you're done watching it, you no longer like it, put down in the comments like, hey, it's just not for me, I'm over it. And if that's you, it's completely okay. Be like, there's so many, like I always say this, and I harp on it, is there's so many anime, especially this season. There's like 30. I don't want to say good, but 30 decent to masterpiece level anime. The levels skew a little bit, but there's enough. There's like 36 out of 10 to 10 out of 10 anime this season, and sometimes you just gotta have to choose what's gonna take priority, because there's only so much time in a day, in a week, in a month. So, if that's you hopping off, it's completely okay. Now, for everybody else, as I'm gonna move on to the next thing. For everybody else who's gonna stick around, I think the thing that makes Iceblade unique for me personally, and it's a breath of fresh air. And Amelia, the red-haired girl, even commented on this. She was like, Ray, you're kind of a stud. You're kind of really good with women. She's like, yo, what's up with that? And he's like, oh, well, I was raised by women. Obviously, his master Lydia has a thing for him, and he was surrounded by other beautiful women as well, who probably had him compliment them a certain way, interact with them a certain way, you know what I mean? So it kind of comes second nature to him to be like, oh, wow, you look beautiful, you look dashing. He was compliment city when she was, going through different clothes. He's like, oh, well, he said, ooh, I pricked my heart. I was dying. When he said, I pricked my heart, I was dying of laughter. Like, I had tears coming out of my effing eyes. I was dying. I pricked my heart. Like, I was dead. And the other thing too is, her coming out, in her underwear, whatever, didn't faze him either. He was more concerned about, like, why were you yelling? Are you okay? You know what I mean? As a normal human should be. Because we get these protagonists that if that same situation happens and they come out, he'll be like, oh, he doesn't know what to do. He'll turn red, he'll start sweating, he'll push her off, all kinds of other, and I hate it. I hate when that happens. I hate that because they're so terribly written. So this is a breath of fresh air to me to see somebody who, you have these harem type anime, and it's like, but you have this protagonist who, like, you know, the breath, a slight breath or slight, you know, wind caused by a beautiful woman, and they're flustered and mush. They're mushy. So the fact that he is kind of like, you know, he had dinner or lunch with the two girls, right? He had lunch with the two girls, the elf girl and Twin Tails, and what was it? What's her name? Clarice and Lydia. Does that sound right? Clarice and no, that's his master. Clarice and blue hair girl. I forget her name. So too many names to remember in the season. But he had lunch with them, and you know, even when he was introducing Elisa, even when he was introducing them, you know, he was like, "Oh, this is the beautiful, you know, intelligent and warm-hearted." And then he introduced Pigtails. He's like, "This is Miss Twintail, you know, hot on the outside, you know, easy on the inside, means well, beautiful, blah blah blah." I was like, "Damn, Ray, get it, dude." So just overall, you know, it's just a breath of fresh air of a protagonist who's surrounded by women intentionally based on the way the story's written, who's going to have a haremish type vibe to him like a lot of other anime, but who can handle himself really well. It's like, oh, that's such a breath of fresh air. And I know I'm harping on this and taking up a lot of time, but it's just such a anomaly to have somebody who is surrounded by women, or a girl who's surrounded by men, whatever you want to say, but who's surrounded by another gender they're interested in, and them not be wimpy or awful, or like them be like legit like smooth. It's like, damn, let's get it. So I think that's one of the things that we're treated with. The other thing that we're treated with is it's funny. Like the anime is legitimately funny. Like I've had moment after moment of just laughter. Like I said, this moment where he's like, I pricked my heart. Like I was dying of laughter. And there was another moment where he saw the twin tail girl and he confronted her. I was like, okay, that made me laugh. His master getting like all like, you know, flustered that he's coming, that made me giggle. You know what I mean? So there's like moments of just funniness here too. I think that's something that we get treated with. And then on top of that, you have this overarching story plot line, you know, of there's a spy at school. You know, is it a student? Is it the teacher? You know what I mean? Is it the teacher he was just meeting with? Was she the mastermind behind this because she never made it to be a researcher? So now she's going through like the black market underground researching stuff. Is it her? That's what it's leading me to believe. You know what I mean? You have this other overarching thing of this story that's happening with the heroes and the heroes who went into hiding and blah, blah, blah. That's interesting. And then on top of it, you have this funny, ridiculous antagonist dude of Ray White. He's an ordinary. And he's trading himself up next episode. He's probably going to get overtaken by you know, some demon or monster or something, but he's like, he's so ordinary, Ray White, I hate him. He's so obsessed with them. Like, that's just effing hilarious because it's so tropey, but they're leaning into it like, Ray White. And it's not meant to be serious, and that's what makes it effing funny. So, I don't know. Those are my opinions. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you agree with me, let me know. Let me know why. If you don't agree with me, let me know why. And if you're dropping it, let me know in the comments. But overall, I appreciate you being here for another week of Iceblade. I will be here next week. I freaking love this anime. It's really good. I really enjoy it. So, drop a like before you dip out for the day. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. And I'll see you in the next one, my friends. Peace.